Okay, cool. Some people have hopped on. Good morning, guys. It's almost 8, so I'm going to get started on just explaining the class along. My name is Olivia Bloomer. I'm an intern biokineticist and qualified yoga instructor at the Sports Science Institute of South Africa. Today, I'll be taking you guys in the Total Sports page through a 30-minute Vinyasa style yoga flow. So it's going to be a nice, easy flow aimed at beginners, but there'll be some parts where if you are intermediate, you can take your practice a bit further. So really, it'll appeal to all levels. If you are a beginner though, please make sure you're listening in on the modifications that I give. So this practice today is designed to strengthen up the back side of the body and open up the front side. A lot of us have been doing a lot of sitting during quarantine, so that's all just increase our flexibility and also improve posture. So if you're with me, all you're going to need today is your mat and yourself, and we can go get started. So please join me on the mat. We're going to start off our practice just connecting with the breath. So I want you to bring your feet together and slowly roll down. So feet are together, knees are just flopping out to the side. And we're in a nice and neutral spine here. So there's a little bit of a curve under the back. And I want you to bring your hands to your collarbones. So just in your upper chest region, lightly resting there. So really important before each practice, you can close your eyes if you want to. You can keep them open, just a soft gaze. Really important while we settle in, just to connect with the breath, to arrive at our practice. This is your time now. So just take a moment to thank yourself for giving yourself this gift of movement, of reconnecting with the body and the breath. Maybe those inhales and exhales start to lengthen. And you can feel the chest rise as you inhale and just collapse as you exhale. Making sure the shoulders are relaxed and resting completely on the mat. And let's all take a nice deep inhale all together. And exhale, side out through the mouth. Good, you can flutter the eyes open. And I want everyone to bring their arms out in a 90-90 position. So elbows are bent. As we inhale, I want you to reach up. So straighten the arms up by the ears. Reach, reach, reach. And as we exhale, pulling slowly down to the waist. If you can't do this and the chest is quite tight, you can have the arms floating up a little bit. Inhale, let's lift up. And exhale, let's bring the arms down to the back waist, making sure you're keeping that neutral spine so you're not taking too much of an archer. Inhale. And exhale. You can sigh these out. Nice release a bit of tension when you sigh out through the mouth. And exhale. One more, inhale. And exhale, bringing the elbows to the waist. And we can bring the knees together, grabbing hold of the right shin here and just straightening out the left leg. Maybe you want to roll around a little bit in that hip joint if you're feeling a bit tight. So take some circles here. Making sure the head and the shoulders are completely relaxed on the mat. And if you're taking some circles, maybe you reverse that direction. Just nice and easy, warming up that hip joint. Good, and then grabbing hold of the back of the leg now. We're just gonna bend and straighten that knee. Maybe there's a bit of popping, a bit of clicking. As long as it doesn't hurt, it's fine. And maybe the hamstrings are feeling a bit tight, so really easing in here. You don't have to go to full extension. And one more. Again, grabbing hold of the shin, bringing the right arm out to the side and keeping that shoulder blade on the mat. I want you to bring that right knee to the other side. If it doesn't completely relax onto the floor of the mat, that's okay. You can keep it up. I'd rather you have that right shoulder completely relaxed on the mat. So the upper body is facing straight. And maybe you want to take your gaze to the right. It's early in the morning and early in the practice, so don't push yourself too hard in this twist. Be nice and gentle. Keep breathing. And bringing your head to center and slowly coming up. We'll grab hold of the left shin now and maybe take some clockwise circles with that knee. Good, and reversing that direction. Grabbing hold of the back of the leg and just bending and stretching. Ooh, you can hear my clicking. So you can really sink in with the breath here. Inhale as we straighten and exhale as we bend. You might not want to fully straighten that leg, that's okay. And then grabbing hold of the shin, extending that left arm out besides you, 90 degrees, and slowly bring that knee down. Maybe you want to bump the hip a little bit to the left. Remember, keeping that left shoulder blade completely resting on the mat, and maybe taking your gaze to the fingertips. Breathing into that twist. Good, now taking the gaze to center and slowly coming up, bending both knees and planting the feet on the mat. Feet are going to be hip width distance apart, and I want you to spread the toes and bring quite close to you. So about a hand's distance away. Hands at either side. Right now we're in a neutral spine, so there's a little bit of gap from the lower back. Inhale. And as we exhale, I want you to flatten that back, so tilt the pelvis. And we're going to roll through each vertebra, lifting the hips all the way up into a bridge position. Watching out that the knees are not flaying out to the side. We're hugging them together. Try and draw your navel to spine, so if you lightly contract those abdominal muscles. Inhale. And let's exhale, roll back all the way into that neutral spine, vertebra by vertebra. And imprint as we exhale. Let's roll up again. At the top there, really squeezing those glute muscles. Try and get the hips a little bit higher. Inhale. And let's roll all the way down. Keep on going in your own time. So inhale, rolling up. Cool. And holding at the top. And let's slowly roll all the way down. Let's do one more all together. Inhale. Exhale, imprint, and slowly lift up the hips. Holding as we inhale, squeeze a little bit higher. Let's hold this one a little bit longer. Keeping that breath. And if you want to, you can roll onto each shoulder blade, interlacing the hands behind the back. If this is too intense of a back bend early in the morning, stay in that bridge. Keep squeezing. Couple more breaths here. And rolling the shoulder, release the hands, and coming all the way down. Bringing both knees to chest and rocking from side to side. And coming all the way up. We'll come into a 4-point kneeling position, so on your hands and knees. Let's make sure that our hands are directly below our shoulders and our knees are directly below our hips. We're going to do a couple rounds of cat-cow. So if you're not familiar, then follow along with me. Starting in a neutral spine, let's all inhale together. And as we exhale, rounding the upper back, the lower back, dropping the head and drawing navel to spine. So sucking in the tummy just a little bit, pushing through the shoulder blades. And as we inhale, dropping the tummy, open the chest, look up. Try to broaden the collarbones. And let's go exhale, rounding all the way through. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, rounding into cat. Inhale, drop the belly all the way down, open chest. And inhale. One last one, really sinking in with the breath here. Really nice opportunity to get in sync with the breath and also just warm up the spine. And when you're ready, meeting in a neutral position here, you might want to just check yourself again that the wrists are below the shoulders and knees are below hips. Spread the fingertips nice and wide, pressing through the base of the fingers. And we're going to extend that right leg out back behind you. So my foot is flexed, facing the mat. And so are my hips, they're squared to the mat. And I want you to imagine that you're almost pushing into a wall back behind you. So we're drawing up those quad muscles and they're nice and active. We're taking your gaze just ahead of the mat to a single spot as we lift the left hand now. So nice straight line from my fingertip all the way to my heel. Good. Holding here for one breath. And lower down that left hand. I want you to turn your left shin just in a little bit and reaching up, turning your body to the right side, lifting up, keeping that right leg hovering. We're only here for just a little bit. Good, and releasing that hand down, stepping that right leg between the hands. So we're in a low lunge here. You can come up onto your fingertips and broaden the collarbone. So we open up the chest just a little bit. We're not hunching over too much. We're creating some length from the crown of the head all the way to the sacrum. Good, and plant the left hand now. Reach back with the right hand. And you can bend the left foot here. You can either stay here, or if it's accessible to you, to grab a hold of that left foot. You can get a bit of a quad stretch in here. Make sure you roll that right shoulder back and down and open up the chest towards the right. And slowly releasing that hold. We'll come up, inhale, lifting the arms up. So sinking into that hip. Make sure we just tuck those ribs just a little bit so we're not flaring out here just yet. So the abdominal muscles are tight as if we're reaching towards the ceiling. The fingertips are spread out and active. Inhale. And as we exhale, we can side out, bend the arms, and maybe take a little back bend here. So now you can lean back a little bit if that's accessible to you. Inhale back up, nice and straight, tuck the ribs, and reaching the hands down. Let's meet again in that 4-point kneeling position. I'm going to take a little child's pose here. So sitting back into the heels and resting that chest, melting it onto the thighs. And slowly coming up into our 4-point kneeling position. Check yourself that you're in the right position here. This time we're going to lift the left leg. So remember, draw up those front thighs to back thighs. Nice straight line, flexed foot facing the mat. Looking at a single spot as we lift the opposite hand. Nice straight line with the body. Don't hold your breath here. Keep breathing. And slowly releasing that hand, turning in that right shin towards the right as we open up to this left side. As you can see, I have a nice straight line from my head all the way to my heel. Holding here for just one more breath. Good, and then planting the hands, stepping that left leg all the way through into that low lunge. Come up into the fingertips, and remember creating that length, that openness in the front body as we push out of the chest. Planting that right hand now, reaching back with the left, so roll that shoulder back and down. We're going to bend that knee here, and if you can grab hold of the foot, do so, but it's okay to be over here. You will be still getting similar benefits out of the pose. Keeping the breath nice and steady. Good, and slowly releasing that foot down, releasing the hands down. Inhale as we sweep the hands up, tucking the lower ribs, reaching up to the sky. So we're getting that feeling of lengthening the spine, so the top ribs are almost coming off the hips. That's how much we're lifting. Inhale all together. And as we exhale, sigh it out, bend the arms, lean slightly back if you can, if you want to. Inhale, lifting back up, tuck the ribs, and float the arms down. Let's meet in a wide-legged child's pose now. So knees come to either side of the mat, and we just lay the chest down between the knees. 2 breaths here. Good, and spread the fingertips nice and wide and push through the base of the fingers. We're going to tuck the toes now and send the hips all the way to the ceiling in our first downward facing dog. Making sure the feet are hip width distance apart, hands are shoulder distance. And maybe you want to pedal it out just a little bit here, just to get warmed up. If those hamstrings are feeling a bit tight this morning. The idea with our downward dog is we want to rotate sit bones all the way to the ceiling and tuck the lower ribs. Head is nice and relaxed here, we're not holding out. Couple more breaths here. And let's slowly roll into a plank. So shifting the weight here, engage those abdominal muscles, engage those front thighs. We're going to drop onto the knees here, keeping the chest nice and open. So try to think about lengthening the collarbones as we slowly bend the arms and come to the mat. In a lying position here. Arms are just beneath the shoulders. We're going to open up, draw the chest, draw the shoulder blades down and together. As we inhale, lift into a baby cobra. Exhale down. Maybe you float the arms now. Inhale, lift. And slowly down. It doesn't have to be a big movement here, as long as you're getting that feeling of squeezing the back. Inhale, lift. And down. We've got one more. We're going to hold here. Inhale, lift. Squeeze our shoulder blades together. Keep breathing. And slowly lower down. Take a bit of a rest here. We're going to add in another element here. So this time I want you to bring the arms out to the side. Palms can be either facing up or down, whichever is comfortable to you. I want you to point the toes, and the big toes must come together. This time we're going to roll our shoulders back and down. As we lift the chest, we're also going to point the toes and lift the feet off the ground. So we're squeezing the glutes here and we're hovering. Exhale down. Completely relax. Inhale, let's lift. Squeeze the glutes, point the toes. Squeeze shoulder blades together. And slowly down. 2 more. Inhale, lift. And lower down. Try not to scrunch the neck here, make it nice and relaxed. Last one, inhale, lift. We're going to hold. Try and get a little inch higher. And slowly lower down. Bringing the hands again next to the shoulders, pushing ourselves all the way up into a narrow child's pose. So knees are together, and you can bring the hands back behind you by the feet. Just lengthening that lower back that we just worked. Then I'm bringing the hands out by the ears, spread fingertips as we tuck the toes and lift up into downward facing dog. We're going to look forward and we're going to walk our way slowly to the front of the mat. Take a nice generous bend in the knee here if you need. As we fold over, neck is nice and relaxed. Inhale as we straighten the upper back and hands come to the shins as we halfway lift. So straight line from the base of my skull all the way to my lower back. Exhale, folding over. Inhale, sweep the arms up, lifting all the way up. And exhale, bring the arms to the side. We're going to do a bit of balancing here. So if you know your balance isn't that great, then make sure you're next to a wall. I'll stand next to you, but you can keep, stand facing you, but you can keep facing the front of the mat if you want. So we're going to be doing our tree pose here. So spread the toes nice and wide, slightly apart. Feet are slightly apart. And we're going to transfer our weight onto our left leg here. And slowly lift the right leg. So you can either have your right foot on the mid-calf. So that's option number 1. And if that feels a little bit too easy for you and you want to challenge yourself a bit more, maybe grabbing the foot and placing it on the mid-thigh. Bring the hands to heart center, staring at one single spot. And I want you to make sure you're not putting all your weight onto that left leg. I want you to strengthen out those outer hip muscles and draw all your energy to the center. Good. Holding here. I'm going to turn around to face this way. Just you hold there. I wouldn't throw anyone off balance there. Oopsie. Once you lose your spot, then you go all over the place. Inhale, maybe the hands go up. And exhale, drop the foot, leaning over. Forward fold. Plant the hands here, stepping back into our plank once again. Nice and strong. Dropping the knees, keeping that length in the in the collarbones as we slowly lower down. Inhale to baby cobra, so pressing up. Exhale down. Facing back into plank. And downward facing dog. Maybe you want to pedal out here. Looking forward to the top of the mat. Hop, step, or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, so straighten up that back. Hands come to the shins. And exhale, forward fold, bending the knees. Inhale, lifting the hands up as we stand. And exhale down. We're going to repeat that on the other side. So we're going to do the tree balancing on the right leg. So bringing the feet slightly apart here. Spread the toes, transferring our weight slightly into the right leg. Bending the knee, either coming into the calf or the mid-thigh. Strengthening out those outer right hip muscles as we draw into the midline. Hands come to heart center, focusing on one single spot, maybe just lightly touching a wall for that security. Inhale, maybe lift the arms up. And exhale, let's reach all the way down, forward fold. Slight bend in the knee. Inhale, halfway lift, so straightening out the upper back, straightening out the legs if you can. Exhale, planting the hands, stepping one leg back, other leg back into plank, pushing through the shoulder blades, strengthening out those abdominal muscles, dropping onto the knees, keeping length in the collarbones, tucking the elbows into the side as we slowly lower down. Inhale, pressing up, baby cobra. Exhale down. Pressing all the way back, bringing the bum to the heels, child's pose. Take a couple of breaths here. And slowly rolling all the way up. Last pose of the day, you can come to seated on your mat. We're going to bring the soles of our feet together and make sure you can choose how far you want your feet away from your pelvis. So you can either have them quite nice and far if you want a more gentle stretch, or a little bit closer, but just never force. So here, we don't want to ever push down the legs. We want to let gravity do the work and gently open up those inner thighs. So interlacing the hands by the feet, let's roll the shoulders back and down and ground through either sit bones. Now here, I have length through my spine. So I'm keeping the chest nice and open and not rounding through here. I want you to imagine you folding over your hip crease. So try and bend a little bit forward, not arching the back, and keeping this whole front body nice and open. So we're not going very far down here. We should feel a gentle stretch over here. And it doesn't matter how high the knees are. Good, and then everyone bringing the hands behind the back, coming up onto the fingertips, roll the shoulders back and down, and maybe lean a bit further back. Good, and coming back, hands on the knees. And we can cross the legs now, however you want to cross the legs. We're going to go into our relaxation here. So either you can do this lying down or seated. So get into a nice, comfortable seated position. You can round the back slightly. You don't have to sit up straight and activate the muscles. You completely relax from here. Lightly close the eyes. Or if you want to keep the eyes open, just taking the gaze down. Start to focus in on the breath. Checking in to how we're feeling, how the body is feeling. Maybe taking this quiet moment in your day to set an intention for the day following. Quieting the mind and just focusing inward. Feeling that openness that we've created in the front body. Everyone take a nice deep inhale all together and exhale it side out. Lightly open the eyes. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. Stay tuned for more sports science takeovers on Total Sports and join us at 12. Grace is taking us for a Happy Moms workout, so be sure to tune in then. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a great day further. Namaste.